Guys, today we're gonna talk about the Pathfinder 2nd edition deities known as the Eldest. We are gonna cover who or what they are, any known background, their relationships and their worshippers. Note that some background informations are from the 1st edition books, but they will have no bad influence on your campaigns. Let's start with an overview about who the Eldest are. The Eldest are a collective of powerful demigods. They originate from the First Word, the home of the Fae, and took over when the deities that created the word abandoned it. All of them possess the power to change the realm within a second if they felt like it, and during a long period of war, they combined their powers to create the fearsome living weapon known as Thane, monsters that are able to destroy whole cities simply by stomping on it. While for now these monsters are only known in legends, the Deities can always unleash them if they feel the need for it. Even though they are seen as deities, they don't really act like them. They aren't overly interested in the life of other beings and don't concern themselves with expanding their circle of worshippers. They still hand out divine powers to devoted followers, but less because they care and more because they have the time to spare and find amusement in it. Now that we covered the basics of who the Eldest are as a collective, let's have a closer look at the ones that are influencing the material plane. In total, 9 of the Eldest have an influence on the material plane: Count Runaak, Embriks, Marked, Angie, Ragadon, Shaika, the Green Mother, the Lantern King and the Lost Prince. Let's start with Count Runaak, also known as the Traitor. It's being said that he once was the lover of Nymph Queen Nerissa. She wasn't one of the Eldest and had no real power. That is, until he granted her enough power to create her own realm within the First Word. The other Eldest were so angered by that they sent a Jabberwock, one of the Thane, after her. She tried to flee, but in the end they caught her and took away all her powers. By doing so, they accidentally created a magical artifact, the Bastard Sword Breyer, infused by the passion the Count and the Queen shared. After that, he was banished to the Shadow Plane. Although it's not known if his affairs with the Queen was the reason for it, or something else has happened. He embraced his punishment and became the patron of exiled shadows, betrayal and the betrayed. The Count was fascinated by the material plane, and over time created a bond with the powerful arch-wizard Nex. After said arch-wizard besieged the city Absalom with shadowy beings that belonged to Runaak's realm, he vanished from reality. No one knows exactly why he vanished after that, but given that his worshippers still receive his blessings, he has to be somewhere out there. Some also believe that the sword Breyer is the key to bring him back. As his worshipper, you should not ask for forgiveness and create permanent or long-lasting sources of light, but you should work in the shadows, hide your nature and motives, and plot betrayals or revenge for betrayals. Let's move on to Embriks, also known as the Twins. Embriks takes the form of 2 statues hundreds of feet tall, holding hands and looking outward. They never move or speak, and only communicate via telepathy. They have the ability to manifest dreams into existence and tend to use that to express their will. It's believed that should they ever move, that it means the material and First Word are ending. When it comes to the other Eldest, they only confer with Ragadon and Marked due to their shared interests and endings. As their worshipper, you should never offend them, but always pursue your goals, bring them to a proper ending, and create pairs in honor of the twins. Next in our list is Marked, also known as the Three. She resembles a humanoid woman with 3 faces. Each of them represents a different aspect of her personality. It's also said that she has the ability to split herself into 3 women. She has a strong connection to the strings of fate, and due to that she can see alternative realities and possible futures. She has a weird way of communication, to the point where it seems nearly maddening. And while she shows others her vision, she never does it in a straightforward way. She allows others to partake in her visions, but no one knows what toll she will demand for it. Because of her knowledge, most of the other elders are cautious around her and fear that one careless comment could cause her to predict apocalyptic dooms. She orders her worshippers to use divination, but to never use it for profit. They are also forbidden to lie. Let's continue with Angie, also known as the Hooded and the Lord of Crossroads. He wears a long silvery robe and a hood to conceal his face, which makes it pretty difficult to see what he actually looks like. There are rumors that should you land a glance on his face, you either see truth or face oblivion itself. He is the patron of travelers, seasons and secrets. Therefore no one really knows a lot about him. Even his worshippers don't know that much. He has a good relationship with the other Eldest, even though most of them are wary of his mysterious nature. As his worshipper, you should travel and hide your identity and motives, but you should not sleep in the same place twice and wear seasonal decorations out of seasons. The next Eldest is Ragadon, also known as the Waterlord, Serpent King, the Word Serpent, and Father of Dragons. That are a lot of titles for one person. His usual form looks like a blue-green lenorm, which is basically a fancy word for serpent dragon. In this form, he travels the seas of the First World. Should his affairs require him to leave the sea, he takes on whatever form he needs for it. It's believed that he is originator for all the norms, and he himself declared that he is the father of all dragons. While true dragons don't agree with him, they would never mention their disbelief in front of him, because even they have respect for the powers of a god, even if it's not theirs. He claims all bodies of water in the First World and some in the material plane as his own realm, and while you can go into the water, if you seek to speak with Ragadon, then you should call for him from the land. Otherwise he will see it as you invading his home. He has a good relationship with Marked, Angie, and Shaika, while he considers the Green Mother Patty, the Lantern King Irreverent, and the Lost Prince Poti. It's also believed that he has some knowledge about what Embriks' goals are. As his worshipper, you should draw spirals, seek primordial secrets, use poison, and always carry water. But you should not destroy a fossil and never suffer a Lenorm's death curse, a curse bestowed upon you when you kill a Lenorm. The next one is Shaika, also known as the Many. Long ago, in a place beyond time, all of Shaika's reincarnations decided to share their lives and live together as a collective. They all share the same knowledge and memory, but have different personalities. They are never all present, instead it's a constant change. While sometimes one incarnation can be there for a longer period of times, it can also happen that it changes its incarnation multiple times within just a single conversation. Most of the reincarnations are humanoid, but some ended up a bit more bizarre than that. They watch over the time and have seen both the birth and death of the multiverse. And even though they have the knowledge of every major event, they somehow are more interested in the smaller ones. While they claim to only watch over time, it's kind of an open secret that they made slight changes to help their own goals. Sometimes they even help their own worshippers by tampering with the flow of time. They have a good relationship with the other Eldest, although some of them tend to be uncomfortable around them because they've seen the endings of their reign. As their worshipper, you should learn from the past, leave hourglasses in unusual places, give random gifts, and create fleeting things. You should not willingly thread where time does not pass. Let's move on to the Green Mother, also known as the Feasting Flower. While in her more humanoid form she looks like a beautiful fae, such as a nymph, dryad, or elven ancestor, she can also change that she looks like a flower or tree. No matter her form, she will always use it to seduce and poison you. She is very moody and constantly changes from suggestive temptation to indifferent poisoner. She likes to exploit the weakness of others and has several informants within the realm to keep her informed. The other elders try to stay on her good side, as none of them want her to reveal their secrets to their enemies. She is romantically attracted to the Lost Prince, but so far her advances were always refused. She wants her worshippers to frolic in vegetation, manipulate people, use what you kill, and prey on the weak. but she's against holding onto secrets too long, discrimination against sex workers, and using their trade to harm them. Next on the list is the Lantern King, also known as the Laughing Lie. He looks like a golden globe of light and changes his colors to express his emotions. Like some of the other Eldest, he as well can change his form. He uses this ability often to play pranks. While he claims that the pranks are only for fun and to bring down imperious snobs, they sometimes end up being not only harmful but lethal. Some people suspect that he is the progenitor of will-o-wisps, but he just logs these claims off. The other Elders cautiously respect the Lantern King, as even they are not immune to his pranks. He gets along well with Angie and Shaika and loves to prank Ragadon and the Lost Prince because he thinks they are too serious. As his worshipper, you should play pranks, seek new jokes, and leave lit lanterns in strange places. You should not be completely honest and ruin or explain a good joke. And last but not least, we have the Lost Prince, also known as the Melancholy Lord. He looks like a gaunt, pale human man dressed in black clothes. He has red runes on his brow and the back of his hands. He barely speaks and is prone to bouts of depression strong enough to draw every color from his surroundings. He is on neutral ground with most of the other Eldest. Magd and Shaika appreciate him for his knowledge, while the Lantern King and Ragadon can't stand him. Angie sometimes visits his library, but during that they just ignore each other. Embriks is his favorite, due to their stoicism. As his worshipper, you should aid the depressed, wear somber clothing, maintain neutrality, and ruminate on the past. You should not abandon someone who has no family, and take no public credit for your good deeds. These were all the 9 Elders that influenced the material plane. I hope you liked the video and that I managed to explain them to you. In my next video I will cover how it will be as a cleric being devoted to one of these Eldest. I will explain what alignments you need to follow, what domain each of them offer, and will again mention the anathema and their edicts, in case you want it all more put together. Yeah. Have a good day, and bye!